welcome. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Pillow Cat. My name is Sister B, and today we're going to be talking about how to apply for a job in Canada. And this is generally great for North America, like the United States, Canada, but I'm going to be specific about Canada today. So, what I intend to do, hope I don't become lazy, is we're going to make this a 24-step process. And what do I mean by that? It means that for each video, I'm going to be covering an aspect of the job search process. I'm also going to be giving you tips and tricks and, after video assignments and also templates. Now, the templates, I have the free version and I have the paid version. Don't worry if you're not able to, purchase the paid version. It's fine. You can go along with every tip and trick that I have in my archive. I'm going to share it with you, and because I'm interested in this as well. So whatever it is I learn along the way as well, I'm going to share with you. Now, if you're able to watch this video to the end and answer some of the questions that I have in this video, I will be sending you a resume that got me an interview to a Fortune 500 company as a template. So, but the catch is you have to be able to answer the 5 questions and put it in the comment section, and then I will send that to you, inshallah. Okay, welcome. If you know anything about the job market in Canada, so if you're interested in learning about the job market in Canada, you need to check the labor market information. Currently, about 6.4% unemployment rate, which looks a little bit, but if you consider the vacancies and the working population, that's a little bit high. And if you look also at the industries, that's quite high. But we know a lot has happened over the past years. We had COVID, we had tariff issues, and a lot has been happening over the past few years. But the economy is doing the best that it can, and I'm sure whatever is yours will not pass you by. That's what I keep saying. No matter what is happening currently around you, you should always have good you should always think good of, so that you can be positive and look at the positive aspect of all of this, right? So now my 24-step process is going to be, at the end of today's video, you should be able to write a Canadian resume, an ATS optimized Canadian resume. So we're going to be looking over in the 24-step process, which is not all that I'm going to cover today, but we're going to be looking at having the right intentions, right tools that you need for the job, how to combat job fatigue. Yeah, there's something like that, fortunately. How to combat job fatigue, and how to format a Canadian resume to be ATS friendly, and use AI to your advantage, but not too much, and how to make it look right, and where the jobs are, where all these job boards, where they get from the source, from the cocoa, from the source, and then how to use SEO for your job search and use the right keyword, and using AI, the AI tools that can help you, and what you should watch out for, and then how to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that you will get contacted by hiring managers and employers, and how to build a portfolio for free, regardless of whether your job is a technical one or a visual one. And also, we're going to be using a little bit of design for people in the design industry, the media industry, how to make your portfolio catchy, and how to contact hiring managers and recruiters to get a job. Now, the old-fashioned way of getting a job, and how to infuse it with a new fashion. I'm also going to be looking at creating a business card for your job search. I know that's not what you're thinking about, but trust me, it works. You have a business card for anyone that you meet that can be a potential help to you for your job search. And I know this can be a little bit tricky, because obviously when you're looking for a job, you're mostly tight or short on money, but we're going to look at the best way to do that, how to spot fake and scam jobs, and how to how to spot fake jobs and scam jobs. Also, how to create a filter, and how many days, like 14 days, 7 days, how to create a search filter and get notifications immediately a job is available, and how to PR yourself, like become your own advocate, your public relation officer, how to scrub your data of any form of political or anything that will make an employer question your integrity to get a job, because that can also affect, your digital footprint. Yeah, very important to get a job. And then company votes, how to maximize the vote system of a company to make sure that you're ahead. Now, the salary range headache in interviews, how to prepare for an interview, and using freelance sites and emails to get hiring managers emails, using freelance websites to get hiring manager emails, and using LinkedIn to get hiring manager emails so that you can contact them directly before and after you apply. Getting a government job in Canada, whether you're in Canada or outside of Canada, getting a job internationally that's a work from home in North America and Canada is precisely, and how to be a regulated professional in your career. Like if you work in the trades or you work in a white collar, how to be regulated in Canada, and immigration pathways to get your job. Then informational interviews, how to prepare for one, and virtual events, how to set up a virtual event for your job search. Yep, you can do that. And how to attend a virtual event. And then we have the STAR method, in telling your stories, and how to post, how to, have quality interviews, and quality and quantity of your job search, and how to tailor your resume for an industry that you are seeking. So that, for example, if you're searching for a job, you should ensure that, okay, today I'm going to search for jobs in education. Tomorrow I'm going to search for jobs in the healthcare industry, so that you don't quickly burn out, when you're trying to tailor your resume. So the tailoring is going to be, it's not going to be very much. So it's going to be towards one type of tailoring for like several applications that you're going to do in a day. So that's what we're going to be talking about in our 24-step process, inshallah. But for today, we are just going to do a Canadian resume that is ATS optimized. Let's get started. Welcome back. So how did I get to this part? I want you to look at the website. So you can copy that, jobbank.gc.ca/trend analysis. This is where you're able to see a snapshot. You can click on the snapshot of the type of job you want. For example, if we go to Ontario, it's going to tell you they have 8 million working population in Ontario, and currently there's 7% unemployment rate. If you check the statistics, you can see, like in construction, number of jobs have decreased, probably due to AI. Accommodation and food, it has increased. Education has decreased. Don't let this decrease, don't let it deter you, because construction, for example, is one of the industries where they need a lot of people. So they do need that. So you're able to check the industry, the locality, the municipal, and where you can quickly get a job in your industry. You understand? So now let's go back. Let's go back one more. Okay. So for example, if you're, let's see, you're an accountant. Then let me choose a regulated one. Let's say you are project manager. Project manager. You can see there's a project manager for construction. There's one non-technical for interior, for scientific affairs. We're just going to say non-technical. And then we're going to choose a province. You can choose a city, for example. We can say we're going to choose Ottawa in Ontario. And then we're going to search. So here it's going to give you a description of the job prospects in the future. Currently, they're looking for 8 people for this job in Ottawa. If you require a post-secondary on apprenticeship for this job, which there's a requirement, it is yes, they usually require you to at least have a community college diploma or bachelor's or on-the-job training of 6 months. The average wage for this type of role, and if it is regulated, I don't see that here. Now we're going to go back to let's just go to the description. It tells you what they want, what usually happens in the job, the physical demands, it's explaining administrative officers for project manager, because this is a non-technical role. So you can see if you have been an administrator in your previous roles, you can pivot to project management if you get like maybe like a project management certificate just to know how to handle, projects and what the workplaces are like and the kind of physical environment, the job title, and similar occupations. We have property administrators, conference and event planners, things like that. And then we go to the wages. How much do they pay them? So in Ontario, they pay them the lowest rate, about $20, and then in Canada, about $21, and then you have the median and the high. High, I believe, is like if you have some years of experience already being a project manager, not just when you're out of school. Usually they have this type of benefits if you're a project manager. And then the prospect is limited because it's more like an advanced administrative role. But if you pair it up with an industry, for example, you are a project manager for an healthcare industry, there's a possibility you get more pay. You're a project manager for a construction company, it's going to be higher. So labor markets for the next 10 years, you can learn more here and yada, yada, yada. So then we have the jobs. Now this is giving you the jobs in Ontario, the jobs in Canada. There are currently 610 jobs available. So we'll come back to this one. Now the requirements, like I said, didn't require that you go to school and that's it. It doesn't say that it is a regulated profession because you're going to see that. And then the attitude of the person that would do this job, you need to, for example, own your time management skills. You need to be analytical in your thoughts. Even though it's a non-technical role, you need to pay attention and be an active listener. How important it is, the degree and complexity level. Now, let's go back to the job section. We're going to see the whole jobs in Canada for this role. Now, you see that I went to project management. It brought me administrative officers. That's because it's a related role, right? Now, you can tailor this towards, okay, what province you're looking at. Now, if you're outside the country, if you want to come in as a worker and you want an employer, you can go here where it says labor market impact assessment and you see, are there approved LMIAs? No. So it means that there is no company in all the 600 and something companies that have been approved for these roles. Do they have anyone that has been requested? Yeah, there are people that requested for LMIA. So these are employers. They are asking the government, we can't find people for this position. Please grant us the ability to hire somebody outside the country. Now, disclaimer, for roles like this, you don't really need, how would I call it? You don't really need LMIA offers because administrative roles are something you can do on a desk. So you pretty much get a lot of people inside the country for it. So if you're looking at getting a job from your country in Canada, this kind of role is going to be difficult for you to get. So what I will do is just remove the administrative officers. Currently, as of this morning, there are 64,633 jobs available. Isn't that wonderful? But more jobs available per people need it. We don't know that. If we do the maths with the labor assessment, we're able to determine that. But let's just go. So there's 64,000 jobs available. So how do you tailor this towards what you are able to do? You have to consider your physical ability and also your, how would I put it? Your capabilities in terms of your professional capabilities. So we're going to go to browse here. You can see it already gives us in-demand jobs, top search job titles, top search keywords. You can see. So if you want to go, somebody from outside the country, for example, you go to LMIA. So there are 6,000 LMIA results. Isn't that wonderful? So currently 6,000 jobs where they have either been approved or they are seeking for approval to hire people from outside the country. Now, if you go and you look at this, you can see that British Columbia and Alberta has the highest. Next is Ontario and Quebec. And understand if you're going to choose Quebec, French is very important because Canada is a bilingual country and Quebec specifically is French dominated. So let's go to the LMIA again. Then we're going to go to the part where it says requested means they are seeking, they have not been approved. So we're going to focus on the approved. So currently there are 107 jobs that have been approved. Right. They have been approved to give you a job that so recognized employer for government programs. I'm going to put that on there as well. And then let's go. So approved programs are there. Approved LMIA is also there. So approved programs, approved LMIA 2164, right? Let's just remove this, for example, for 1 second. Let's go to the 107 only. Now you can see that even now that we have streamlined it, you can see that highest is in Ontario and the next is in British Columbia and Alberta. So you can see that there's this Alberta and British Columbia have the highest well, for this specific one, Ontario does, but usually it's for Alberta and British Columbia. So if you're trying to immigrate to Canada, then these provinces are really good. Now, because I would advise, beg your pardon, I'm going to scratch that. I'm not advising. If I was the person, I'll probably pick Alberta or British Columbia. And before we go any further, disclaimer, this is not this is what I would do if I was seeking. So this is just a way to let you see what I'd normally do if I was seeking for employment, right? So now, child caregiver, a private one, you can see they need you on site, obviously. Physiotherapist, farm supervisor, dairy farm worker. If you have any of these experiences, you can apply to the job. Now, this is considered a recognized employer, so you know that it's not a fake job. This was posted on the 6th of July, which is about a month. So they're still currently looking for somebody. Now, the thing about if this was an internal job, what do I mean by that? If this was a job that is not an LMIA job, if I see July 6th, that's a long time that it has been posted. I wouldn't bother applying to that type of job because usually employers make decisions within 3 weeks of posting. So if you see a job about over 2 weeks old, then don't bother, go look for another. But because this is an LMIA job, they do have a certain number of days they need to have the job posting online to show that they are not able to get somebody within the country, so they require somebody from outside the country. So usually if you see a time frame that is this long, it does not matter. You should just, try. Now, something else you need to see is show details. They need you to have understand English. They don't require any degree. Experience is an asset. When they call something an asset, it's not required. Work must be completed. Obviously, you're going to be working in dusty, wet, damp areas. It's a rural and remote location, so you might see 1 or 2 bears along the way when you're going, but it's pretty much safe. It's just a rural area. Great vegetables and profiles. If you have that experience, obviously that's what it wants. This is a vegetable harvester of potatoes. Is it potato or potato? Oh, potato. Anyways, just kidding. So this, and then the working conditions, the weight, the tools, things that you need and require for the job. So how do you? Now I know that when people see this, they'll be like, okay, this is what they're looking for, but do not mind. This is always there. Usually, it's just like a template. Well, once you see this LMIA approved job, the one I showed here, this employer has been approved labor market impact assessment to hire a foreign worker to fill labor or skill shortage on a temporary basis. You can click to learn more. We'll talk about that later. I think I talked about this in one of my videos, but not extensively, and inshallah I'll be looking into that in the future. So here, now this direct apply is for when you have a plus account. Plus account is I think usually paid, and then you need to have, there's some requirement for a plus account, but we're not going to look into that today. But just click on additional ways to apply. So what I usually say is, if something is a Gmail account and it's not an individual that is seeking for you to be employed, like maybe somebody that needs a caregiver for their children or a caregiver for their elderly or their seniors at home, then it's okay for them to have a Gmail. Or if there are fake jobs everywhere, and scammers are getting very, very good at what they do. So you should also be very careful, right? But if you see an email like this at opti.ca, .ca is an LTD for Canada, so which is like an indicator that this person has a Canadian website, which is good. Now you go to opti.ca to confirm, and then they do have one here. They said you can also apply online, and then put the reference number, obviously, in your cover letter or your or when you're saving your resume. And then they are advertising this until the 18th of August. So don't wait until a day before. For a job that has been posted since July, they already have a lot of offers, so it will be best to apply immediately. So now let's go to that link. So I'm going to go to that link and click on it. You can see here it says Ontario Potato Distribution, blah, blah, blah. There are currently no job openings for this. So it's possible that while it's still on the job board that it's available, the job board has expired. So they're probably not hiring for it. So you can see where it says sponsorship. Proud to care for our communities. What is this one? No. You can go to just to be sure that this job is not available anymore. I'm trying to see if they have a specified job platform on their website. I don't see it. Like a contact us. So when this sort of thing happens, you can send the contact us, email, or pick one of this email, the one directly that you think that is going to be directly to the hiring manager. For this case, for the potato, I would think human resources, Rob. You send them an email, oh, you saw this on a job board and you're wondering if the position is still available, or just apply nonetheless. Just you never can tell. You can get an offer. You never can tell. You can get an offer. So, or you go back just to be on the safe side. Go back to the job board and apply to this email and just submit it. You never can tell, right? So let's look at another one. For this dairy farm worker again, this one is also an approved LMIA. Show how to apply. Additional ways to apply. Then this one is by Rogers. Rogers is a telecommunication company, I believe. And this is where it's at. They need references attesting your experience, for this one. And then you submit your application, put in a cover letter in your email, and there you go. So, like I said, we're going to be creating an account for this one. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So you can see job seekers and employers. You are a job seeker. So obviously, as a job seeker, you're going to see this. You need to sign up. Now, some people have been complaining that they are not able to do that because it requires that you have your SIN number. Well, there's a way to navigate that, which if you subscribe to one of my in-house coaching, in terms of what I'll do if I was taking unemployment, then I can send you a video to explain all that in depth. However, I'm going to do this just in case, you're able to navigate that, and I'll show you what I'll do. So first, I'm going to use email. Look at email here. Give me 1 second. So because this is the first time, we're going to click on sign up, right? Don't have an account, sign up, yada yada yada. So customize your preference, speed things up, get notice, build a resume, view more sign up options, and you can sign up on job bank without providing your SIN. Aha, this is the issue that people experienced, and I was like, no, you can actually create one without it, right? And other personal information by opting out of some services for now. These include job match and direct apply, like the one that we saw the other time. That's for the plus account. And if you change your mind later, you will be able to opt into these services by adding the missing information on your account. So you say next. You can see all of these disclaimers. And then you say, I agree. And then you open an account. You put in your email, English, and all that. I'll do everything step by step with you every step of the way. So we have plcat@gmail.com. I speak English, and because it's English and French, bilingual country, don't forget. Then I'm going to put a password. Okay, so here, it's saying my password does not match. It has to be 8 characters long, have at least one uppercase, have at least one lowercase, have at least one number, a special character, be identical. That's the problem with mine. So I'm going to check it out to see where I've gone wrong. So now I've corrected the error. So I'm going to click on continue. And then it has sent a confirmation code to my email, right? Bear with me 1 moment. So it has sent me the code. I put in the code, and now I'm going to continue. Bear with me 1 moment. Yep. And then we have security code questions. Going to ask you. You can pick any of this, questions. What's your whatever? What is the name of your first bet? I'm just going to fill this in. So you're going to get about 5 questions. You can put in your answer, display to make sure that it's correct. I'm going to continue. Oh, said my session has expired. It took a long time. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to have to do that again. Yep, yes. Okay, cool. Had to do that again. So you can see this is a standard account. You saw the process that I did. So for this one, we're just going to do this. So here we are after the confirmation security questions. Next is authentication. So we're just going to put the first and last name and then the postal code. Now you put in here if you're not a Canadian resident. If you're not in Canada at the moment, you put it, or you could just leave it. You know, that information is not important, but maybe they're going to tailor your page towards, you know, something different. I don't know what the difference is, but you know, you can put it in. And because you don't have a postal code, you know, because you don't have a postal code, because usually they would tailor your resume towards a postal code, you know, but it doesn't matter if you don't. You can always click on this and then finish. So I'm just going to fill this out. So the next thing is to click on finish, and then voila, you can see, if you look at it here, we have an account or name, and voila. So then you have a profile, personalize your experience. What was your role before? If you're aware that, for example, my previous occupation was different, your location, the city you're in. What do you self-declare? Are you indigenous, mature, newcomer? You know, if you're trying to come in, I suggest you put in newcomer. If you're trying to come in, visible minorities, like, you know, you could just, you know, select or just choose nothing if you don't want to do all of that. So we're just going to get started on the alerts first, because if you want to get alerts for your job. So what type of job are you looking at? It's currently active. So you're just going to teach this alerts what you want. Like I said, click on browse. You're looking for LMIA jobs, right? And then you're looking for the one that is approved already, right? And then you come here and you say create alert. So it's going to give you, if you go back, temporary foreign workers available jobs. It's currently active. You want daily or weekly? So it's sent you weekly, so that you will always get an alert in your email to say, oh, there's a job available in, you know, this specific type of job. Then here we'll go to my jobs. You have not favorited anyone that you want to apply to in the future. Then we go to my documents. This is where you either upload your resume or you build one. So you say create a resume, and then we have the language, obviously. If you speak French, you can put in there. And then now there's a difference between the traditional and the youth. Traditional and the youth, there's a difference. Okay. Now for the traditional, this is what it's going to look like. It means you have experience. Your volunteer work, your credentials, your skills, your education, your work experience, and your summary and information. That's for the traditional. But you just graduated, you're young, you know, this is the template you're going to get. Objective, not professional summary, because you don't really have a lot of experience already. Your education comes first because you're trying to highlight that, you know, you're the best for the job, even though you don't have a lot of experience. Then your skills and your work experience comes, and then your volunteer work and your awards in school, your extracurricular activities and all that. Now, there are several types of resume, and we're not touching on that today. We're just building a template. So we're going to look for a role for somebody. Obviously, if you're trying to come in, it should be traditional, because, you know, you already have experience in your field, right? Now, I'm going to look for a role that is common in the LMIA job sector. I'm going to choose construction for the purpose of this video, right? So you can put in construction worker, or maybe like a farm manager. I think farm manager is more like it's a get, because you're still going to be trained anyway. So now here you can take your time to look at, you know, let's click on this to look at how to, give me 1 second, to look at how to write a good resume, what you should do, keep it concise, proofread, limit your resume to 2 pages, right? Tailor your resume to suit the position you're applying for, highlight what you have accomplished, be honest, quantity over quality. Quality over quantity. Quantify your achievements, use simple words and action verbs, include unpaid work, double check I tell you what I do when I'm trying to double check. I usually just listen to it. Sometimes what you see and what you hear, it's more like you're able to detect something wrong when you hear it. I'll let you know how I do that. So the don't use inappropriate email address. ifarmfarm@gmail.com nonsense. Don't include unnecessary personal information. That is called discrimination. There are some countries where you put in all of this, to get a job. But here in Canada, you shouldn't do that because that's discriminatory. His ageism and all that. But all of this, we don't want to know. We're not interested, right? Don't put your personal information in your resume. Don't include a picture of yourself. Don't use too many bullets. 5 to 7, I'd say 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is fine. Unless if you have a lot of experiences, like maybe you worked in 10 companies, please don't put too much, your resume, just 2 pages. You're not writing a CV, you're writing a resume. Don't use personal pronouns. I did this, I did that, I did this. We use third person when we're writing a Canadian resume. Don't simply list your job responsibilities. Don't make general statements. Don't include reason for leaving your previous job. That is negative. Don't include references. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos before. Don't include hobbies and interests. We don't want to know if you like volleyball unless you're applying to become a volleyball teacher or something. So it's not required and it's not necessary for your job search. And then we have the format. You have to save, constantly save. Now you can see, because when I was filling in, it already gave me what I need here. And then professional summary, work experience, education, skills, and professional credentials. And all of that, we're going to fill it in. Now, how I come about this is not necessary for today. What we are going to do is to just make sure that we have a very beautiful farm manager resume. Now, I come up with the professional summary and work experience. I'm not going to be covering that in this video. This is already a very long video. I think we have about 30 minutes into it. I just want to limit it to 1 hour so that we don't do too much. Now, okay, your professional summary. To get the best results for this, you go to find a job. You type in that role. Let me even check. I think it should be in browse as well. In-demand jobs, the carpenter. No, we're not looking for that. Construction, labor. Okay. I want to make sure that the resume template that we have is tailored towards the already approved LMIA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the profession that has the most approved LMIA. And the only way we can do that is if, for example, we go to Ontario, we see what they're looking for. You see it's farm worker. But the way it was worded, I wrote mine as farm manager, a family doctor, a butcher, greenhouse. Everything is farm work, mostly. I have this exception, the child caregiver is farm, fruits, farm. So we're going to stick to that because I do know they really do need farm worker. You can see almost everything is farm work, but we're going to make it farm worker general, right? So we do have them looking for farm workers, right? Now let's go back to the resume template. I'll pick one of the general labor farms here. They're paying $17. That's another thing. Look for the one that pays the highest, because you never can tell, the opportunities. Just how do you do that? You filter the type of salary that you want. You can see the one that's paying the lowest obviously has the most. We have this, the one that's paying between 60 to 76. If you view the results, oh, we have carpenter, software developer, and cook. Okay, so let's check it out again to check about the salary. If we make our salary like, let's see, let's check the results. Yep, we have farm work here. We have farm supervisor. We have personal support worker. Okay, let me remove specific location. Within that job range, approved LMIA for 40,000 range. We have, I think it's made an error. What I'm going to do, I'm going to reset it. Let's reset again. So we're just going to go to job bank to reset it again. Job search. So we don't have any filter. Then we go to approved because it's 113. Within the salary range that you want, a high, and you have to specify about is it English, and then we have they are currently There's a job. Interesting. What job is that? Oh, physiotherapist. Interesting. Okay. There's this one. Registered nurse, carpenter. Yep, we have farm supervisor. So that's what we're going to be tailoring our resume for. They already got approval, or they need somebody without any degree. This is what this person is going to be performing, and they need a team player and additional ways to apply. This is what they want. You can send by mail, and they will check references, and this is what they want, right? And then you can go confirm that this website does exist, tellus.net. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go tellus.net. Okay, so let's say TELUS, because TELUS is a telecommunication company, but sometimes they do have like other things that they seek out for. So sometimes you might not see it on their own current website, but TELUS does exist. Agree and proceed. They do exist and TELUS, but this is TELUS Digital. But there's a TELUS.com, right? There's a TELUS.com. And if they have an email, nobody will be able to buy their LTD except them. So obviously tells them that can work. But they already have approved LMIA. If you want to further confirm that this company is legitimate, you can always go to the Learn More section to look at, find out the resume for it, right? Now, I'm going to fill this out. Okay, welcome back. So we have, okay, if you want to change your location, you can always modify this, put in your name, obviously, and you can put in your street address, even if you're outside of Canada, and then put your city and your postal code and your phone number, your email address, and a link to your professional LinkedIn or website. Now, if your LinkedIn is not farm manager, don't put it. Okay. So I'm just going to leave this out for now. We're going to do that one. We already have the basics, the essentials. So we're not going to put anything there apart from the phone number. That's the only thing I need to add there. Now we have the personal summary. So always check out this summary help. It really helps you. It says here, reference your skills and experience. Why is it going to be an asset to the employer? Keep it short and powerful. Tailor each job to highlight your strengths. Show the employer what you have to offer. This will set you apart and all that. How to work with the editor. It's going to tell you, click on the arrow up and down, the escape, F10 to access toolbars. You can look at that in your free time, keyboard shortcuts and all that. So here it is. Now I already have mine that I'm going to use for this specific position that we saw, right? So here, I'm just going to copy that in. Result-driven, safety-oriented grain supervisor with 2 years of hands-on experience managing large-scale grain crop operations in rural settings, proven track record of maximizing seasonal yield and eliminating equipment downtime through predictive maintenance and precision agricultural logistics. Expert at leading training and coordinating diverse fields crew in fast-paced, high-pressure environment while strictly enforcing rigid biosecurity and safety protocols. This can be, if you want to use simple language, you can use AI to make this simpler, because it's not really a big deal. But this is actually great. This is professional, I understand. But if you want to make, if you know that if your employer is just a simple person and this might be a throw off, they don't understand what you're saying, then you can change this to something simpler. I'm going to show you something simpler. Give me a moment. Okay, so I'm just going to put it side by side. So you see, okay, so today we're not focusing on so result driven. Here we say experienced grain farm supervisor with a strong background in large scale rural operations. Remove the I, remember, used precision farming tools, excelled, you understand, sometimes excelled at leading and training diverse teams while keeping the workspace. So you can put that in here. Proven track record. You can remove that. And then let's go from operations. Okay. Wait. Just mix it up. Right. Okay. And then you save. And then it saves. It's looking at sweet time. It took me a long time. Another thing, you have to be a little bit fast when you're working with these tools, because you can say it's been a while. You did not. Okay, cool. Yeah, we have it. So I'll put in my phone number so I don't forget. Now, I really don't like how the phone number templates that I have is. We can always change it by the time we finish. So as you do this, just ensure that you're always saving. Ensure that you're always saving. Save, 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 save. You need to save. You need to save. Okay, so now let's go to work experience. I'll put in about maybe 2 companies. It's fine for the work experience part. It's loading. So in my work experience as a farm representative or manager, I was a grain farm supervisor. I coordinated and supervised daily activities up to 6 general farm workers. So here it's going to say, what is your role? Here I'm saying I'm a grain farm supervisor. So here I'm just going to click on import duties, paste it here again. You can see it has a lot. Now for this specific role, don't forget that we are trying to ensure that this position is tailored towards, give me 1 second, I'm trying to duplicate so that I can get to where I'm going to. We're trying to ensure, beg your pardon, we're trying to ensure that this role is tailored towards this position. So what they said they want here, organized task, harvesting, farm machinery, inventory. So we're just going to look at that. And then we're going to look at, okay, so we have a farm laborer, neighbor grain farm. It's kind of the same. So these are the job duties here. You have to tailor it. You can see me clean up. If it's a current job, you can put all this. I'm just going to show and put all this and import duties. You obviously need to edit it to make it, in the correct tense. If it's a current job, it's present continuous. If it's something you did in past, it's past tense. You cannot say may assist. So you're telling your employer may assist. Obviously, they're going to be like, this person is not serious. But it's a good way to have a template so you don't start rocking your head on what to write. And you can also use AI to tailor this, like make this into a current job role for, let me do that right now. Okay, cool. Welcome back. So you can see, I'm just going to change it. Or maybe I put it so you see the difference of what I did. Okay, so here for prepare and irrigate soil, it gave me plant, fertilize, thin and harvest a variety of crops. For plant fertilize, it just meshed it together. Pick, roll and orchard crops. Hand pick, roll and orchard crops carefully. Load, unload and transfer crates. Load, unload and transfer crate farming, Maintain, where it said may assist, perform general farm maintenance. You can see it changed it for me using AI. So these are places where it's fine to use AI. And you want to make sure that you're using the verbiage of the employer as well. So here we're going to remove all the things that make it look AI. We're also going to not bolden it, right? So this is great. And then I do have other things that is better than this one. Guess what? These are measurable, like saying that, okay, I did this. So something much better will be, I'm just going to remove that and then paste it. Remove this. Cool. Then do this, Control B again to remove the bold, Control B. Okay. So we have operational optimization, coordinate. If you want like your spacing, I don't want to do too much for this. Coordinated and supervised. You can remove this if you feel it's just extra information. I'm going to remove this. So this one's predictive maintenance, precision agronomy, because this obviously makes it look like, oh, AI did that, because we do know how AI works, isn't it? So I'm going to remove that, and then we're going to save. Right, so we have grain farm supervisor and telling us, what did you do? So we know that a role is saying they want harvesting laborers. They want somebody that has crop-related operation experience. They want somebody with farm machinery equipment expertise. And here I'm saying I supervised complex crop-related operational using GPS-guided machinery, yada, yada, yada. Revolutionized all of this. So I said we're going to do 2. So here we are just going to look at the experience of a farm machine operator. I'm going to copy this. Don't make the mistake of, it's gave us grain farm operator before. So don't make that mistake. Operator, farm machinery, custom operator. It's the same NOC, but it's going to give you like different information. So just like we did before, we pick, optimize it, have a lot, but I do have something better. So you can use this, if you're short on time or you feel like the role is almost, probably is remaining 2 days and you feel like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be employed by this employer. Just let me come up with something. Then you can use this, right? But if it's a role that you're like really aiming for, then you want to make sure that your description makes sense. You understand? So like I said, your bullet should not be maximum of 5. So I'll do this. Remove Control B to remove the bold. And then I'm going to remove all of this. We don't need all that. So this is 3, right? Okay, now we're going to fill out the other parts, which is the employer's name. For this, I'm saying the name of the employer is the Sunridge. Where did I do this? Let's see. Let me choose a place within the city. It could be outside of the country, but I'm just going to be using Canada, for example. I do have a lot of addresses we can use. Bear with me. Okay, so May to November. Okay, wait, hold on. November 2025. I was saying this one was in 2024 May. Okay, yeah, that's for the second row. And we save. Don't forget the main place save here, because if you lose it, you're going to have to do all that again. So you can see this one is complete. For this one, we still have something to modify. We did not include the employers. I'll do that right away. You can see something because it's a present. Obviously, we use a past tense here because usually it's best to use present continuous, like something you're still doing. But you can leave it. But to say you did something. But we can change it to present continuous, which I'm going to do, which is the best. Because if we have a hiring manager that is very finicky when it comes to language choice, then this can be a red flag. So because it's still a present role where you're saying that you're still working for this company. Now, if you're in Canada, now the cities that I included, you can see that the city is still within this, is still within Ontario, where I believe this job is. Oh, beg your pardon, it's in Alberta. Oh, we're just going to assume that it's in Ontario. You have to look for an address that is in Alberta, because that's where the rule is if you're in Canada. So if you're not putting your address, since they have LMIA, they don't care, they're going to, employ you for the job. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me change this to present continuous. So we're going to change it to active present tense verbs. Okay, I'm just going to do this again. Then Control B. At this point, you can see I'm removing all the AI optimization that I did. So it looks professional. Okay, cool. So we have this, then your education, where did you study? So obviously they don't require you to have any degree. They put it there. They don't care. No degree required, but they want you to have experience. So that is it. And we're going to tell them now, at least we have high school diploma. If you have more than that, don't put too much. You can put a diploma, but if you put in like a university degree, it'll be like you're going to run from them as soon as you come into Canada. So, you can, keep those certificates somewhere, unless it's related to farming. Even if it is, an employer, you're telling them you have PhD in agriculture and you want to come and work as a farm supervisor, they obviously know you're not gonna last long with them. Understood? So that's my 2 cents. Now, name of the program of your education. Here for this, we're just gonna put in high school, because high school, we're not gonna put any. But if you did this in Canada, you can just say general high school. It's going to explain what they mean by here. The institution, just put in the name of your high school. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, and the city. Okay, province does not matter when you finished. Sometimes it matters. Sometimes this can bring about ageism, where they see maybe you're too old for the job. So I wouldn't put in anything. It's a requirement, but I wouldn't put in anything. Let's see if we're able to save it. It's gonna tell us to do that. Okay, let's put in something. Okay. High school is for 6 years, isn't it? It's just 2020. Okay, cool. 23. 6 years back. I think it's 2018, right? Okay. What am I doing? 2018. Okay, cool. What you did in high school, we don't care. We don't care. So here we have that. And then they want you to have a license. So you can put that under education as well. Just put it in. I have a valid driver's license. And driver's license. Maybe you got it at a specific location. You don't need all that. Institution name. Maybe happy driver license. And you have a class 5. Just put it beside it. Class 5 driver's license. Driver's license and in categories. In Canada, when did you have this? You can just put it in 2023. Well, when did it? You can just put it in, and then maybe you have a truck license or like a lift, anything that is going to help your resume. I'm going to indicate like some things that are extras, but is really going to help your job. Has to do with some certifications, some skills you can include in that. So that's about it. You can put in maybe like you have a CPR or maybe specifics. I'm going to leave that out for today. But for my templates, for the pay templates, it's a couple of dollars, but if you don't have it, it's fine. So I'll be putting in this template. Once you are able to answer my 5 questions that I have for you for today. Number 1 question. When you're creating a job bank resume, how many types, what do you do to be able to bypass if you don't have a SIN number? That's number 1. Number 2, what is a SIN number? Number 3, what is LMIA? And what is the difference? Number 4, what is the difference between an approved LMIA and in process, or an LMIA that has not been approved? And number 5, can you get a job directly from outside the country into Canada? If the answer is yes, explain. And if the answer is no, explain. And those are my 5 questions. If you can answer these questions and put it in the comment section, I will send a template of the resume that got me a Fortune 500 interview with an interview at a company, a Fortune 500 company. It's not in this. It's not in the family industry, obviously. But I'm going to tell you. So always save. Now, when you want to download, there's a trick. Now, because you're using AI, I think this thing, it wasn't like that before. But now, if you click on download PDF, what will happen is this. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Beg your pardon. So now give me 1 second. So what I've done is that I have clicked on the save, making sure that I saved everything. And then afterwards, click on the PDF, and this one is going to give me a Word document. And in the future, if I like this template and I would like to recreate it, I can click on duplicate and say, okay. And this way you can put like, this is a duplicate and then save it. And then if you go to print, it's going to show you how it's going to look like. See? So all the work has been done for you. It's not more than 2 pages. We don't have, you don't have the extracurricular activity, which is actually fine for this type of role, unless you're looking for a white collar. Those ones, can be required. Well, here we have done over and above for this employer and showcasing what we want. Now, if you want to remove all of this header and footer, do not save it this way. Click on the download. So I'm going to show you what it gave me. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Now, lately, this has been like an issue with the website. It wasn't like that before, but obviously, I don't know what's going on. So if you can see here, you see that it's giving like some very, I think it's just maybe crawling to let us know that this was written by AI. And this can be quite disheartening, like you've done all the work and then you're seeing all this. But so that's why I'd encourage you to download with the Word document. So I'll show you how it looks like in a Word document. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I have that here ready. Cool. So here we have it. It's still giving me, oh, blimey. Okay, cool. So then that's not a problem. That's not a problem. What we're going to do, we're going to use the print formats. We're going to use the print formats. You can see the print format doesn't have all those things there, right? And then we want to remove the footer and header. What you do is you save, right? And then you save. Now I've saved it. I'm going to open it. Okay, I'm going to show you now what it looks like. Right. You see? Now I want to remove all those because, you don't need the employer to know how or where you and when you made the resume, you understand? So I'll show you what to do. You go to a website called I Love PDF, then you click on it, and then you're trying to change a PDF document into a Word document. So you just go convert, go download here. Cool. So you have that. OCR premium, you don't need all that. So no OCR, then you convert and you download. It's going to download automatically. You just see, I'm just going to put it as 2. So I have a copy. And I'm going to show you what we have here. So here's what we have. And now a couple of things that needs to be changed here. Click on edit. Now, Lucida is very tiny. I don't like it. It's not professional. I usually use Georgia, or mostly Times New Roman is fine. Arial, these are professional. Like then you pick it 11 or 12 maximum. Remember, it cannot be more than 2 pages. Then I'm gonna check out the spacing, and I think we're good. Then this Arial has a category that I don't like. I just want plain Arial. Why does he have like CS buddy? Okay. Arial. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's make this a little bigger. Yeah. We don't want to make it more than 2 pages. Is this 2? Is this tree? Not supposed to be tree. Have a lot of edits I need to do. Make a single line here. Okay. Let's go back. Something is making it more than it's required. Okay, cool. Either way. So here the header, obviously I don't want it. So we go to header, remove header, add a footer, remove footer, and then you save it again. And then remove it. Then go here, save as. I do have where I keep my, so you will see this. Just say don't ask me again and say, okay, cool. So I save it as 2A. So now we don't have that again, right? We don't have that again. So we have a very good resume. I'm gonna make this bigger. Oh. Okay, cool. So you can see now. So this is what the resume looks like. It's a 3-page, so there's too much space in here towards the end, and we want to remove that, right? Because obviously we just want 2 pages. So we have 2 pages for this. Make sure you save. And then if you want to make this a PDF, instead of, going around, you can just go here, change Word to PDF, and then save. And so automatically you have the PDF. Now I was talking about the phone number. Then I was talking that I wanted to change. I did not like the format that he gave me because I wanted to look professional, right? And I wanted to look that. Nice. And we do have, so that you can always convert it to PDF so that you have the correct format again, which I showed you initially. I could do that again. Where is it? Okay, I'll show you later. Anyways, so that's about that. Here. So now that we have completed it, if you go next time to my document, you're going to see, I created a duplicate. So you're going to see it here, right? And then if you click on this, you're going to see what you need. And then you have to close, and that's it. That's it. Now, any questions? Let's see here. I have my documents, my jobs, like the type of job you wanted to, I'll show you how to do that. You go here to the search, right? 65,000 jobs. You're looking for a job in Ontario, for example, and it's a full-time job you want in English, and you cannot work for anything less than this amount. Then you click on all of this. Well, anything less, you pick it, whichever one you want. Period of employment, you're looking for a casual, seasonal, or term of contract. Some people like contract jobs. You don't need to select this because, if you're streamlining too much, you won't get, good offers. So exclude remote jobs. No, we don't want to exclude it because remote jobs are cool and then you're outside of country, obviously you only want approved LMIA. At the moment, it's giving you 3 jobs that are within that category of this amount. If you fit your job title, you click on it and you submit. Now for this specific one that we saw before, so let me sign in again. I don't want to do that. What we did is we removed this and then we removed this. Let me see if I can still see the name of the company. Kevin Clark. Okay, let's see. I can see here. Kevin Clark. Okay, cool. Isn't this interesting? So we already know that we cannot do the direct apply because you don't have a Plus account. And then here, you click on this, make sure you put in a cover letter and you send an email and include your references to testing. This will be at a later date when, they're asking you questions, but you don't put that in your resume at all. You saw that when we were looking at how to, I don't know if I see that anymore. When it was showing you at the beginning on what to do, you see it under, no, it's not here. I guess you see it under one of the things where it says how to write a resume. You see, I think it's here. Resources for job seekers. Okay. How to write a good resume, how to prepare for an interview, how to apply for a job. Take a look at these resources. The specific industries are really, really they need a lot of people there. That's why it's segregated. And that's it for today. I wish you a wonderful day. If you'd like me to send you the one I talked about, don't forget to answer the 5 questions I gave you. And I will be seeing you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.